around the country on Foxtel's Aurora and on demand on YouTube. This is The Scene. It's all about great Australian and West Australian music. We can't do it without our mates at Atomic Beer and Sound Sensor Morley. Thank you so much for those teams. My name is Blake Williams. Hello. Now, October 24, pop this one into your diary. It's the date of our end of season concert. Tickets are just $20 and here in our studio at Night Owl Productions in Morley. You've got 3 bands, plus a food truck, plus a massive bar as well. We're talking Mitchell Martin, Claudia Tripp and Ashes of Autumn. On this stage, just for $20. It's the greatest Sunday session you're ever going to have. Tickets available right now through TazTex. Hopefully you can pick them up in the studio audience. Hopefully you guys can buy some as well. But tonight, it's a scene first, in fact. Every single ticket that was up for grabs for tonight's episode was sold out in about 48 hours. It's never happened in 2 seasons of the show. It's testament to the fact that the band behind me is one of Perth's absolute best. In the studio, let's give it up for Vdelli. This is The Scene.
Vdelli. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, how good were Vdelli on stage a few seconds ago? Yeah. Brilliant. And we're treated to another song from you guys in just a few minutes as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, Blake. Thanks for inviting us.
My absolute pleasure. It's pretty amazing. I was looking at, things to talk about on today's episode. 30 European tours, 20 albums, ARIA Awards with Dave Hole, supporting people like BB King and Buddy Guy, ZZ Top. I mean, I know, even that got a woo in the audience. There's so much on there, though. Could you ever imagine doing anything other than music? Has it always been that?
I wanted to play football. AFL.
That's about as far away from music as you can get, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So when was this? Yeah,
well,
that's right.
You know, everyone's saying, oh, you know, do you want to play at the AFL Grand Final because it's in WA?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it was my dream, but like as a player on the ground. Yeah, it didn't quite happen. But
When were you playing football? Like at school?
I played at school. I got to Colts at Claremont.
Yep.
And
Go the Mighty Tigers.
Go the Tigers!
Go the Tigers!
Yeah, we're playing South in the preliminary next week, so we'll be there.
There we
You
go.
know, and we'll have another crack. Subi. Anyway, we can go down that road.
Well,
if you
yeah,
want,
we could
but-
do. We'll bring it back.
No, yeah,
So there was potentially, being an AFL superstar.
Look, not really. I was not a bad junior. Probably wouldn't have made it all the way, but that was my dream.
Yeah, right.
And
But music kind of took over, and you were like 13 when you kind of got into it first time, right?
a little bit. 13, 14.
Yeah.
My mum was very encouraging. My dad was absolutely do anything in life, son. I believe in you, and you can do anything you want. Just don't be in a band.
You're like, fine, I'll be a footy player. So I don't know that either.
He understood the pitfalls of the music industry, and there are many and varied and vast and deep and wide, and seen them all.
That's an episode for a
Yeah,
podcast, which I believe you guys also have, which we'll certainly touch on. But it was a very musical family, wasn't it?
Yeah, everyone plays things, and everyone in my family's funny as well. Like we've got a good family. It's funny, it's creative, and
But what kind of music was playing when you were a kid in the house?
well, my grandparents' house was Greek music. A bit of Tom Jones, a bit of Beatles on their record collection, but mostly Greek music. My mum was into funky kind of stuff, like Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder, that kind of stuff. Dad was into, Ray Charles and Chicago and Blood, Sweat and Tears.
Right.
And more of the blues. So I had a pretty cool record.
That's pretty varied. It's some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, it was all unreal.
Yeah.
So I had a really amazing record collection to draw from.
Absolutely. Rick, what about you when you were younger? Was music around for you?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I know that sounded like, did music exist back then? I don't mean it like that.
His dad was a legend. His father, not many people know this, but Rick's father, Keith Whittle, was the number one big band drummer in Perth and absolute legend.
Yeah.
So one of the things Rick and I have in common is being the son of someone that was so. You can take it from there.
And he was the sales manager for RCA Records.
And that's
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
My record collection was ridiculous.
Everything to draw on, everything to listen to.
Elvis Presley, but anyway. Well, he was on RCA.
Yeah.
So I heard a lot of Elvis.
Yeah,
Saw
sure.
all the movies for
Yeah.
free. Yeah. But yeah, music was around from. I was crawling on the carpet learning to play paradiddles and mumma-dadders and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's always been there. It's sort of like a family curse. Really.
Would you put it like that?
I could have got a real job and made some money, but yeah, I couldn't live for a day without playing the drums.
Well, and you guys have done some amazing things because of the music. And let's talk about Europe for a second, because playing to 80,000 people at Sweden Rock and things like that. I mean, they're kind of pinch yourself sort of moments, right? Let's go back a little bit from there. Why did you go to Europe at the very start? Was there an invitation? Did you think, I'm just going to try it over there? Why did you go?
Okay.
I remember.
Well, Rick got me the gig with Dave Hole Band as a rhythm guitar player, and that Rick had already been touring the world with Dave many, many times, and that's a whole episode in itself from the 70s and that Rick and Roy Daniel played. Anyway, long story short, ended up playing with Dave Hole, did a few tours with Dave around Europe and various venues. We came back to Perth, and we made. I think there was a crossover period, and I just felt I had a look at it, and I thought I reckon I can do that. And then the first tour that we did, I actually bumped into a mate of mine at another mate of mine's place who was living in Germany. And he said, why don't you come to Germany and play? And I said, oh, yeah, I'd love to. He says, I'll get you, what happens if I get you a gig? I said, if you get me one gig, I'll come.
Wow.
We'll come. And I said to Rick, and he said, yeah, we'll go. So the first tour we had 3 gigs, and I think we lost about 10 grand.
Yep.
And we got, out of those 3 gigs, we got 2 good reviews in the newspaper.
Okay.
And then from those 2 reviews, the next tour we had self-financed. We worked our asses off to make albums, pay for tickets, pay for accommodation, pay for gear, pay for transport, pay for promotion. And we did that for about 10 years.
Yeah.
To the point where we were doing 62 gigs in 56 gigs in 62 days.
Wow.
And driving.
Man.
And, we worked our asses off.
Absolutely. And you hear a lot about young bands going over to, pre-COVID, going over to Europe and doing this kind of touring thing, because you can, tour extensively. It's not like living in Western Australia where you've got 7 options. You've got hundreds of places to go.
A lot of places.
Yeah, absolutely. But it just takes a lot of grit, right? How does your voice go after 59 gigs in a row, whatever it is?
I had to stop smoking.
It's not such a bad thing.
The first time. Look, it was an issue, actually.
Yeah.
And it used to, I can honestly say there's nothing worse than being in the van, knowing you're not going to cut the gig, and the other guys in the van knowing you're not going to cut the gig because you're behaving badly.
Yeah.
And so, it was a steep learning curve. I'm sure, I got by, but the main thing, stop smoking and go to bed before 3.
Lessons to live by, kids. You can take that one to the bank. But those massive gigs over there, like Sweden Rock, and I'm not exaggerating when we say 80,000 people, right?
Yeah, a lot of people.
So many people. What are you thinking before a gig like that? Can you be in the moment and go, this is going to be amazing? Or are you freaking out? Are you thinking about lyrics, where your pick is? Or what are you doing?
I'm looking at the size of my amp going, yes. I said to the guy that first thing you do is you make friends with the sound guy on the crew and the chef.
Okay.
Right.
So many life lessons today. I'm enjoying this.
No, so you go to the crew, and as soon as they realise that you're not a snob or a pop star, whatever. Hey man, how you going? It's Rick, it's Michael from Australia. What do you got? He goes, well, what do you want? I said, what do you got? He goes, well, we got this. And you go, well, how much of that can I have? And he goes, what do you? I said, well, give me everything.
What have you got? Yes, please.
Well, so I think I had like 8 quad. Marshall quad.
And they're all on?
Yeah.
Are they all on?
Half of mine.
Yeah, half of them are on. Because you see those cardboard or those wood ones, right?
Real.
They were real.
They were real. But there was 8 quads, and I had the 4 that were facing me.
Man, that's so insane. That's so insane.
Unreal. And I just went like, first notice, went like, so...
What a gig, though. A couple of different stages, you guys playing in the middle, and I read that you can only play at this festival once every 4 years. That's what's in the rules. Yeah. But then you were entered into a competition where the public could vote, and then they voted you in to play again, so you managed to MacGyver yourself into another gig.
We did with a coin and a match. Well, actually, Rick and I were totally against it, if you remember.
The competition?
Yeah, because we're not like... Things are different now, but at the time, like, crowdfunding and all that, it's like, if you can't afford to make an album, don't make one.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility.
This was a while ago now.
Yeah, 2014
Yeah,
or
2014,
something.
yeah.
So it was kind of like, you don't beg to play and stuff, like if you don't get invited, then I don't want to come,
sure.
kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Lee Miller, who was the bass player at the time, and our tour manager from our record company, they said, no, man, this is a competition. And we were, I think I could speak honestly, we were just going, nah, man, you don't... Anyway, they entered it, and out of 900 bands or something around the world, we won to open up the festival.
That's so good.
Yeah, right.
That's so good.
So Rick and I started eating humble pie, going, yeah, good idea.
Thanks for getting us this massive stadium gig.
It was really cool. It was cool, and a few of the people remembered us from the time before.
It's so wicked.
And they were nice to us.
What about playing to, you've obviously played to West Australian audiences, Australian audiences. What's fundamentally different between an Australian audience and a European audience? I think I know where this is going to go with it. But we exclude everybody in this room because everybody here is definitely into
in
it.
Europe, they don't talk when you play.
Oh, yeah, right.
So first tour, I was just going, why isn't anyone talking? Why are they all looking at me? I was just freaking out. Rich don't play, so they're here and they're listening to you play, and I'm like, normally, you're playing an indie bar or whatever.
Yeah, no,
everyone's like, hang on, mate. And it's just like dead silence, and everyone's like watching you,
Wow.
Freaked me out.
So what is it? Just like a... It's like you work your whole life to get to one where they listen to you. They listen to you and you freak out. I don't know what to do now.
Rick,
Enjoy it.
I learned to, but at first it's quite intimidating.
It'd be off-putting, right?
Well, yeah, they're going to clap solos, or they don't.
Oh, so they can judge you as you're going.
They don't clap, it's like, maybe that wasn't so good. But then you learn to understand how it works and how the audiences are. They don't talk when you play.
Yeah.
And they're there to watch a concert. Like, even if you play in the smallest venue, it's a concert, it's not a gig.
Wow.
Just the whole mentality towards the artist is you're an artist, and they're there to pay to. They appreciate that you spent your whole life learning how to do something, and they value it.
Absolutely. So does everybody here in this room, I'll say as well. Yeah. And we are going to hear another live song from you guys in just a moment as well. Are you going to go back to Europe once all this COVID stuff was all over?
Yeah, it's a little sad that right now I think tomorrow is meant to be our first gig in Hamburg in Germany.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and it's the third tour we've cancelled.
Yeah.
So, look, of course, that's we love touring.
Yeah.
And every tour has been exponentially bigger than the last, and it's just been devastating in a way. Having said that, it's been great to be playing with Rick and Tony again and put out a new album. And
that's right.
And with
what's her name?
between over there, my sister Simone, and we've started a podcast recently, and
And I'm going to bring up the podcast situation as well. What is the podcast? What is it about? Certain thing or various subjects? And where do we see it or where do we hear it?
Well, what it's about, it initially started as me trying to find another form of income. There's quite a way before that happens. You have to have 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours. We've got the 4,000 hours, which is great. I was looking for subscribers.
So are we. It's the same music TV. You'll find it on YouTube.
So we're going to subscribe. And so what I would have is people like Rick or my dad or other people that were involved with the band, asking them about that, like what you're doing with us now.
Yeah.
And then Simone came on to because Simone's taken over the business kind of side of the promotion and stuff.
Taken over.
And she ended up taking over the show. So Simone's now the star, and I sort of, and it's a hoot, and every week we have someone pretty amazing on that I've met over the years, and I can extract a little story like what you're doing.
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. So you've got the podcast going, the brand new album.
It's also entertaining.
Oh, thanks very much. The voice from the dark.
I have no idea who that was.
I know who that is.
There's
That's Terry
and there's no microphone back there, so that's going to see and sound brilliant. But that's right, so the new album is out as well, which is now. You can check that out. The band are going to get up and do another song in just a moment too. A few gigs coming up. What are the big ones on the horizon?
I'll tell you what that is. I actually printed this out.
Did you really? It's like we pre-planned this.
Well, because unfortunately for the band that are amazing from over east, but Bondi Cigars, thank you, and 1927 can't make it. 1920, they can't make it. So John Starr from Star Entertainment has asked us to play at the Beat the Blues Festival on the 8th to the 10th.
Okay.
Frio Social.
Great.
So we're wrapped to be able to play there.
You know what? I'll just hold this quickly up because we're running out of time. Go to our Facebook page. All the details for Vdelli's. I should read this to make sure it's all correct. It's all going to be on there. You'll find it. You'll find it. In fact, what is the best place to find your gigs? What's the best handle online?
Here you go,
Simone, it's over to you.
Jump onto our website, vdelli.com.au. You can find everything you need to know there, including all of our merch, or email me at admin@vdelli.com.au.
Oh, nailed it. She nailed it. That is a Vdelli. You know what? We're going to take... All right. We're going to take a very short break on Foxtel right around Australia. When we get back, Vdelli are live on the stage. Give it up in the studio. This is The Scene. Back in a moment. Vdelli, everybody. How good was that? How good was that? Awesome. Of course, you can find the guys online. This is The Scene. It's all about great Australian and West Australian music, the scene, music, TV. Every single week we celebrate the best right here in WA. Next week, Blackstone Brewers. And of course, October 24, it's our end of season concert. Tickets are $20. $20. That's a coffee in Perth. Hope to see you there. Tickets through Tastix. This is the scene. See you next week. Bye-bye.